The Toronto Maple Leafs recall goaltender Ilya Samsonov from the AHL, and the Flames are looking to extend their defenseman. I'll get into that later on in this episode, but before I start, I just want to say to thousands of you that are watching that aren't subscribed, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season long, keeping you up to date with everything around the league. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic, which is Ilya Samsonov recalled. Now, a tweet did come out today by the Leafs PR saying the Toronto Maple Leafs have recalled goaltender Ilya Samsonov from the Toronto Marlies. Goaltender Dennis Hildeby has been loaned to the Marlies. Now, there was some talk from Sheldon Keefe after the scrum today, so the media scrum during practice, and he was saying this wasn't fully on bringing Samsonov up just to get him back in games. This was more they wanted to get Dennis Hildeby back into the AHL, getting more reps. As we've seen, Martin Jones played all 5 of the games after Samsonov was sent down, so Hildeby wasn't getting any ice time. He was getting practice with the team, but on the entire California trip and the first game back, he got no ice time. We see Martin Jones really just over-exceed in these games. I mean, so far in the season, I think it was 11 wins, a .934 save percentage. He has been outstanding. Now, the big thing with this is Samsonov is coming up, and he will be the backup in tomorrow's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're saying they want to get a quick look at Samsonov and just see how he's playing. Now, when you do kind of do a deep dive on Ilya Samsonov himself, as it says here, Ilya Samsonov, who has been recalled by the Leafs, has had the 5th most beneficial goaltending environment this season with a 91.3% expected save percentage. And during this stretch, I mean, he has an 86.7, which is the second lowest save percentage in the league. This is unacceptable. I mean, we've seen Samsonov so far this year. He has currently and just mightily struggled throughout the season. Coming in, we thought he would be the goaltender of the future and the goaltender of this team going forward, but he has not been able to get his groove at all. Last season, he was outstanding. Going into the playoffs, he was good before his injury. Joseph Woll took over. We see him coming into the season. The big debate on who is the starting goalie, Samsonov or Woll. And Samsonov was giving the chance. He was giving the first chance at taking the starting spot. And he really struggled and lost it to goaltender Joseph Woll. Now, when Woll went down, we thought, okay, Samsonov will bounce back and take it over. But what we seen was him get sent down to the minors and Martin Jones to take over the net. Now, when you do look at Samsonov, in 15 games, he has 5 wins, 1 shootout, and he has an .862 save percentage and a 3.94 goals against average. And as I said, this is unacceptable for a starting goalie of his caliber. Now, when you do look at it, he is 26 years old, so he should be in the middle of his prime. He's a first-round pick, 22nd overall in 2015 for the Washington Capitals, and he just has not lived up to his expectations for the Leafs this season at all. Now, I do like the recall on him. You do get a chance to see how he plays. You got to hope he gets back into his groove. He did change his goalie mask for the 3rd time this season. Goalies are quite, suspicious on stuff like that, and so he did change this, and we are rooting for him to get back. But there is a bit of a problem with this as well. When you do look at Samsonov, he has 10 games or 30 days to play. After these 10 or 30 days, he will be eligible to be claimed off waivers again. So with the benefit of time, it seems worthwhile to give him another shot after a lengthy reset. So basically what this means, Samsonov was sent down, he cleared waivers. If we sent him down tomorrow, he would not have to go through waivers again. But after 10 games or 30 days, once it passes this mark, if he was sent back down to the minors, then he would have to clear waivers again. So if Samsonov miraculously changed it around, got up to a 9-10 save percentage, and looked quite good, and you put him in waivers, if he's claimed, then you lose him completely. So this does give the Leafs another look at him. If he bounces back, it's outstanding. You get another backup goalie, and then you still have Woll, Samsonov, and Jones, which in my opinion, when all 3 are playing good, this would be outstanding. And then you have the situation of he doesn't, live up to his expectations. You can always send him down, take the loss. He'll either get claimed, or you have another goalie in the AHL that can play for the Marlies, or maybe get traded. I know a lot of people are saying you can't trade this contract, but if you attach a pick to this, if he's already cleared waivers, you send him to a team. If they put him back down into the minors, this is $1 million taken off his cap hit that another team would not have to, kind of deal with. But what's your guys' thoughts? Do you think Samsonov's going to turn around his season, bounce back, take the starting reign or even the backup? Or do you think it's time to kind of move on from this and just live with Woll and Jones once Woll's healthy? But we'll hop straight into the second topic, which is Noah Hanifin staying in Calgary. Now, reports did come out of Elliot Freeman's colleague Eric Francis saying that he made the case that the Flames are revisiting and trying to get an effort to sign Hanifin to an extension. He indicated that they've had been close to an 8-year extension worth an average annual salary of $7.5 per year, and extension talks were shut down. Now, when you do look at this as well, it goes into on Saturday, however, Elliot Freeman reportedly said those talks between Flames management and Hanifin's camp have been back on. Freeman had felt that there was no chance of the two sides renewing those discussions, but he now believes they might pick up where they left off. This is massive for the Flames. I mean, you look at Noah Hanifin coming into the season, there was a lot of speculation that he was going to get moved, he was going to get traded at some point because he refused to sign in Calgary. And this was a bit of a hit on Calgary itself because this is not going to be a big free agent destination. I mean, we've seen multiple players just kind of leave due to this. Matthew Tkachuk, Johnny Gaudreau, and Noah Hanifin would have been a huge loss to this. But seeing that they're re-engaging in trade talks, you kind of bring in a guy that's one of their top defensemen. I mean, he's still young. You can put this guy as your top defenseman for quite a couple of years, and you still are able to retool and move off pieces like Tanev, Lindholm, and still stockpile and keep a guy like this on your roster. Now with this, Francis pointed out that the defenseman's only 26 and wants to stay in Calgary. He also believed it would make sense for the Flames to retain their number 3 defenseman, as I just said. Friedman isn't ruling out the possibility of the two sides reach an agreement, but he's not putting any odds on it. Nonetheless, the fact that both sides are willing to at least revisit those trade talks are a glimmer of hope for Flames fans, that at least one of their key pending UFAs would stick around beyond this season. Now, Noah Hanifin, as I said, 26 years old, he's 6'3", 207. He was a 5th overall pick for Carolina, and this guy has had a great season. As you can see, in 41 games, he has 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points, and a +10. This guy has been, quite good for the Flames over the past couple of seasons. I mean, keeping him around is going to be a big deal for them. As I said, you have guys like Lindholm, Tanev, both UFAs that seem like they might be on their way out the door. So be able to retain a guy like this, keep him around, build around guys like him, Kadri, you still have Markstrom. There's so many options for the Flames team to kind of sneak into the playoffs, still make impactful moves, and keep this core around a little longer. As I said, 22 points, this guy's 26. He's going to end up taking over that top role, and you could really see him kind of coming in and being that number 1 player for the Flames himself. So, what's your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think Lindholm staying is a good idea for him? Flames fans, how do you feel about him staying? Or would you guys rather move him and kind of just go into this complete rebuild instead of a retool and just build for the future instead of staying at this mediocre phase at this current moment? But we'll have everyone's favorite topic, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day comes from Rob. He said, Casey and Mark, the Leafs need to go get 2 big, snarly, snotty, stay at home, clear the front of the net defenseman. And a goalie. Who do you think they'll give up, and who do you think they'll get to make this happen? I mean, it was kind of just talked about there. I think Chris Tanev is still the option that I would go after if I was the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a guy from the Toronto area. He's a stay-at-home defenseman. He's going to put his body on the line. I know a lot of Flames fans, if you are watching this, or anyone that watches any of the Flames games, this guy's not afraid to block a shot. We've seen countless times him putting his face in front of the puck, taking a shot off the face, and then he's back the following game or the next shift. This guy is going to be there. He's going to put his body on the line, and I think he would be the ultimate player to kind of slot in next to Morgan Riley or next to Jake McCabe into the top 4 of those deep pairings. But what's your guys' thoughts? What kind of defenseman do you think they'll go after? What do you think Noah Hanifin's going to do? Like I said, do you think they trade him? Do you think they should keep him? And what's your thoughts on Samsonov? Do you think the Leafs just need to build his value up, maybe trade him off in a trade to get a guy like Zadorov and Markstrom? Let me know down in the comments. But while you're down there, make sure to like, subscribe, and until next time, take care.